usually fairly frightening.
I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Hey, how's it going? I'm going back to the dyno. If you have not seen my first dyno video of this season, go check it out. I'll put the link right here. I made 412 wheel horsepower from the rear engine on 12 pounds of boost. That's the most boost I could possibly get, and I didn't have enough time to tune the front engine. So the goal for today is to tune the front engine. That is my main goal. I need to get some data into it. I need to alter my fuel maps, my timing maps, get some power out of it, at least 300, that's what I'm going for. It's a stock DE, so it's literally an engine I got for free. It was sitting underneath this guy's deck for like 7 years. So it's not the greatest engine in the world, but let's see if we can get some power out of it, have some fun. What's the worst thing that could happen? It could blow up. It didn't cost me a dime, so can't ask for much there. So I'm hoping for 330 wheel horsepower at minimum. That's the most I've ever made out of a stock DE. The engine that I dynoed in the rear last week was a fully built one. So that's why I could pump it up to over 400. So if I finish the dyno session on the front engine and I get some good numbers like 330, 350 wheel horsepower out of this deck engine, I'm gonna be super stoked, because at that point we're already over 700 horse and 700 torque. That was my main goal. But now, if I had time left, I'm throwing the rear engine back onto the dyno, and I have a larger wastegate spring in it, so I could potentially make close to 500 horse just in the rear engine alone. So there's a lot. Time will tell today. It's gonna be a fun day, that's for sure. Interesting at minimum. Stay posted, and I will show you everything I do with my tuning, and I'll show you all my numbers. Driving her onto the dyno. This time they actually let me do it, which was pretty cool, because that's a big liability for them. So I guess they have some respect for me, I guess. They're really cool guys. I'm becoming a regular for their dyno, that's for sure. Once a week these days. I just took out some timing, and I'm going to put it in later after we do some pulls. Yeah, we can do a dyno. Yeah, we can do a power run. Okay, I'm ready when you are. Before I came to the dyno, I took the rear engine tune, copied and pasted it to the front engine's tune. They are the same engines, just a little bit different internally. One's built more, and they basically have the same compression. So tune should be very close. We did a pull, as you saw like 2 seconds ago. It went a little bit lean, so I'm just adding some fuel in and making sure that fuel map's good. So I brought it up a bit, smoothed it out, and then I'm ready for the next pull. As you can see, I raised my hand there, and the reason I did is because it started to go lean. So I told him this, if I raise my hand, that means stop doing a run so I can get back to tuning, because I don't want to run this thing lean. It doesn't have any pistons in it, like, they're bone stock, so easily melt them with boost. So I'm just going back in there, adding some fuel, dialing in that fuel map. So far, we've made 267 horsepower and 300. That's actually very surprising. I haven't really gotten the tune dialed yet, and we're making power. Damn. We're still doing fuel, so I'm just gonna keep going with that for now, and I'll add timing later. So we're on pull number 5. Turned out I actually blew my cold side right off the intake and also a few other things. Whoever built this cage really made it hard to get in. We're thinking that a boost pipe popped off. It's not making any power, and yeah, not making any power for that reason. Right, I put the pipe back on and it should hopefully make boost unless somebody stole the turbo. Every time I do a pull, I make sure I'm data logging it. It's very important to log all the air fuels, the timing, the load, all that good stuff to make sure your tune's good. And it's a good way to know, pause, and go over what actually has been done. But you can pause it because it's recorded, and then you can go cell by cell and adjust it exactly how you want it. Went through my data log, made some changes, added some fuel, and now I'm just smoothing everything out. As you can see on the 3D map there, nice and smooth. Maps are very important. So that was 263. Yellow, okay. At this point, I was pretty stumped why I went 300 horse down to 230 or whatever it was. And I didn't know what it was, so I was thinking it was tune. Kept second guessing my tune, making sure everything was good. I went over things like 4 times when we went back at it. As you can hear from the pull, it wasn't anything crazy, so it was about the same. It was in the 250 range, not good. Took a look at the logs, and it's looking like I have a boost leak somewhere. I'm not getting as much boost as I was before, so I'm gonna try and chase that. Leakage here, I can see. Yeah, see in there, this hose is just completely off. I need to get that boy back on. All right, so the power was dropping quite a bit, and it turns out it was the wastegate vacuum line came off, so got her back on. It was going down to like 240, but we were up to 300. So we're gonna get back out into those threes and make some more power. I'm gonna go till 350-ish and then get her off the dyno, and we'll see how she goes. Maybe I'll make more. I'm honestly thinking this engine's gonna rip. We'll see though. Okay, so I fixed the boost leak. Hopefully we'll make some power here. Gotta get some heat back in it. Yeah, we should be good. All right, let's make some power. Yep. That sounded like 300 again. 192 kPa there. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I got over 300 horse and then it just dropped like a rock. I don't know why it's not standing up anymore. It was only getting 190 kPa, and before on the 300 horse pass I was getting 230 kPa. So I was getting more boost before, and I'm not getting the same boost as I was. Why? I don't know. I could not figure it out. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. So I'm reverting back to like my second fuel map I made. I need to go backwards rather than go forwards because I keep making in the 200 horse. So I need to go back to where I made 300 horse. And for some reason, after I made 300 horse, something bad happened. The boost pipe popped off, and then also the wastegate vacuum line popped off. So I don't know if that's from an internal engine issue or it's from tune. So I'm just reverting back, and we're gonna try again and see if I can get the thing to stand up again. But it's kind of weird that the boost pipe popped off and the and the wastegate one did. So it's just kind of a weird. It's just weird. Like it's almost like it had fired through the intake and just like an explosion. So I'm not sure what happened. I'm just gonna keep going with the tune. Engine seems okay, so keep on moving on. Pulled out timing, and that's when it was starting to make power. And then we put timing into it, and then it fell on its face. And then the boost pipe popped,
Right.
and I added some boost here, and maybe it's just bleeding off. Okay. Just did a pull. I didn't bother putting it in because it wasn't anything very interesting. So same problem, still in the 200s, and that should not be a problem. There should be enough air to make 4, but the engine would be the factor that would be the problem. But I'm not getting the air into the engine, and I could not figure out why. So honestly, obviously it's a boost leak. So I just have to find it, and I do not know where it is. So this is a freaky little issue. I've never ran into this before. When in doubt, turn the boost up. .230 kPa is 20 pounds. 204 is 15 pounds.
Okay.
So now we're getting 15 pounds. It should make 400. It should make 300 on 15 pounds. No problem. So what's been going on is I literally took off the wastegate vacuum line because I wanted more boost, and it actually did not give me more because I've got something wrong with the wastegate here. It's not shut, so it's not holding the air shut to give boost to the turbo. It's routing around the turbo, so I'm just gonna remove it. So after a bunch of looking around, I could see a crack in my throttle body. So that is definitely the problem. I'm going to have to figure a way to fix that right now. So my plan was to remove the back throttle body off the rear engine and throw it onto the front. But unfortunately that did not work out because it didn't bolt on like the other one did because it's 2 different intakes. So here I am with my car, and I'm done on the dyno, and it did not go well. Everything's in my truck. I'm ready to go back to the shop. That dyno day was very, very interesting, let's just say that. I had a lot of issues with the throttle body. The throttle body, the bottom of the where the intake air control goes for stock setup, popped right off, and all the boost was going out there into the engine bay. Hey, I'm back from the dyno, and it could have gone smoother, that's for sure. So long story short, we did a couple pulls, and I was dialing in my fuel map, and it was making 300 horse, and I haven't even added timing at this point. So that's a great number. My goal was 330 at least, and I hit 305 and 310 or something like that. So we did pulls, and once I got to cranking the boost a bit, I was cranking the boost, gonna make more power, and the throttle body didn't like it, and the bottom of the throttle body blew apart because there was so much air getting forced in it, and it couldn't handle it, and it just blew apart. I thought it was the wastegate, so I took it apart and made sure nothing was stopping it from shutting, because if air's going through and you're not telling it to let air through, it won't build boost as rapidly as it should, and that's exactly how it was acting. It was lazy up coming through the pole, and the first couple pulls we were making, it was just building boost and right to 300 horse. It was going up, and it made like 300 horse at like 3,500 RPM. So like she was on a mission to make some power. But then the throttle body broke loose on the bottom and gave me troubles the entire time. I didn't know what it was. We kept doing pulls. I think I did 10 or 12 more pulls after it blew and had no idea. And I thought it was tune related. I thought I didn't put enough timing in. So I was second guessing the tuning and I wasn't second guessing the engine. I did check the wastegate though and checked all my line. The turbo pipes blew off. That's when the throttle body broke, and I thought it was just the pipes that blew off, and since then it was the problem. So now I've got to get a new throttle body. I have like 5 at the shop, or fix the one I currently have. I've had that one modified. It's all butterfly inside for proper, or actually better airflow, but I'll deal with that later. I can do that tomorrow or the next day. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing alignment on my car. It's much needed. I've never had one done, and I am thankful for Baden Automotive for letting me use their alignment rack. I'm doing all the adjustments, so that's so cool because I love doing everything I can on my car. Obviously, I do everything on it, so that's a huge plus. But yeah, on a huge plus, the horsepower from the rear engine and the front added together. So the rear made 412 and the front made 305 about. So that's over 700 horse. That's like 720 horse. Awesome numbers. That is so cool. My goal was 700 horse and 700 torque. I did get that goal, which is awesome, but there's more. There's more power to be made, and I'm going to get it. And you can watch me do that. All right, we'll see you in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe.